Smug actor George Clooney spends $1 million to fight Trump, doesn't work out how he hoped. George and Amal Clooney just welcomed twins, which you would think would be keeping the couple busy enough, but apparently, they've hired some nannies because they've still found the time to push their agenda on the rest of us. Most recently, the couple threw down a whopping $1 million to fight President Donald Trump and his supporters. However, their efforts haven't exactly panned out the way they had hoped. According to Breitbart, actor and activist George Clooney and his wife Amal have become the latest high-profile public figures to donate $1 million to the far-left Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, an organization which has come under fire in the past for its partisan penchant to target and lump legitimate conservative organizations and media outlets together with actual extremist groups. The Clooney Foundation for Justice was co-founded by the Clooneys in 2016 to advance justice in courtrooms, classrooms and communities around the world. The SPLC is a non-profit that monitors the activities of domestic hate groups and other extremists, currently tracking more than 1,600 extremist groups operating across the country. It has used litigation to win court judgments against 10 major white supremacist organizations and 50 individuals who led them or participated in violent acts. Source: Deadline. Amal and I wanted to add our voice, and financial assistance, to the ongoing fight for equality, the couple said in a statement. There are no two sides to bigotry and hate. This, of course, was a not-so-subtle dig at President Trump, who condemned both sides responsible for the recent violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, namely, the white nationalists and the aggressive counter-protesters from groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter. We are proud to support the Southern Poverty Law Center in its efforts to prevent violent extremism in the United States, the Clooneys' statement continued. What happened in Charlottesville, and what is happening in communities across our country, demands our collective engagement to stand up to hate, they concluded. There is something happening in communities across the country which is regrettable, but it isn't what the Clooneys are referring to. In the wake of what happened in Charlottesville, angry leftists seem hell-bent on destroying every reference to the Confederacy which still exists today, whether it be a Civil War monument, statue, or parade. If the Clooneys need a cause to stand up for, they ought to put their money behind an organization which will fight to preserve the history of our great nation. But, no one ever accused a liberal of being particularly well-informed when it comes to events from the past. For this reason, they are doomed to make the same mistakes over and over again. Like George and Amal Clooney, we were shocked by the size, ugliness, and ferocity of the white supremacist gathering in Charlottesville, said SPLC President Richard Cohen in a statement. It was a reflection of just how much Trump's incendiary campaign and presidency has energized the radical right. We are deeply grateful to the Clooney Foundation for standing with us at this critical moment in our country's fight against hate. The Clooneys' money was not the only massive donation made to the SPLC as of late, either. In fact, the news comes just days after Apple CEO Tim Cook announced his own plans to donate $1 million each to the SPLC and the Anti-Defamation League. It looks like these organizations will have all the money they need to combat American values. While the SPLC was deeply grateful for the Clooneys' generosity, social media users were less than impressed. This infuriates me, commented one Facebook user. These celebrities have been living in fantasy land too long. They don't live in the real world. So they only acknowledge the KKK as hate groups and mention Charlottesville. What about all the other hate going on with BLM, and shooting of cops, burning, looting, blocking major highways, etc. Really? They have blinders on when it comes to sharing the blame. George, you need to get out more often and see what's happening for yourself, they concluded. Nothing says love like donating to a hate group that survives by labeling anyone who disagrees with leftist dogma a hate group, wrote another. Would never pay to watch his movie. Why doesn't he stay home with his Muslim wife and twins because he can't stand not being in the limelight? What a egotistic hypocrite, commented yet another Facebook user. The Clooneys recently relocated to the United States over security concerns at their home in Europe. After fighting tirelessly for the refugees, who are running countries like Italy, Germany, and Sweden into the ground. The Clooneys had to flee because it was too dangerous to live among the UN-vetted Muslims. Now, they're fighting to further the same progressive agenda in America, which has systematically destroyed most of Europe. It's insanity. I guess money can't buy you a brain. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.